All right, to get us started on your final exam, the very first thing you will need to do is open up any Photoshop documents, and then you're going to need to resave them. So this was one of those things that they asked you questions on earlier this school year, on how exactly do you convert a file. It sounds fancy, but it is not. It is File, Save As, and then you need to change this to right here, your JPEG. You want to make sure that you take care of putting those JPEGs together so that you can have them readable by Photoshop, okay? So this goes to JPEG, and then you can keep the same name or you can change it, whatever makes it easier for you. It's totally up to you. And then you're going to hit save. I'm going to cancel it because I already saved it. Now this piece has been saved. All of yours that are Photoshop documents, please take a moment to do that before you get started with your actual PowerPoint. Super easy. You're going to get it done. You're going to get it done right. Your Photoshop document, your PowerPoint document, you're basically going to take and run through a PowerPoint which will have 5 different slides, 4 of which have information, and the first is a cover slide. When you go into the P drive, you will find under the public drive, classes, me. Now you're moving to teacher handouts. Teacher handouts are incredibly important because you're going to find our exam files there. Some of you will not listen about that, and occasionally I do have a student that will create a PowerPoint on his or her own and miss the exact content that I need. Please listen. It actually has one in here for you. It's a photo blank semester exam. You're going to go ahead and open that up, and the very first thing that you're going to do is save it properly. If you do not save it, if you just leave, save, click off, and come back on the next class day, all of your work will be lost. Forever. There's no, you're excused from it because I feel bad. This is your final exam. If you do not have it, if it is not done, whatever is there that day is what gets graded. So if you have half of it done, it will be at most a 50%. If you have none of it done, if you saved it incorrectly and you crammed it in or you left it somewhere, again, that gets you a 0. So I've given you plenty of class time to get this done. First thing you're going to do again, you're going to go ahead and hit Save As. You're going to find, and you're going to browse. Yours looks a little bit different than mine. You might find My Computer or a little button over here that says Browse. Go ahead and browse, and then go over on your left-hand column and find your H drive. Your H drive should be your ID number, a $, and then at the end you'll see an H with sort of like a little smiley face. Okay? Super important that you select that. You can select and put it into a photo folder, or you can select and put it into a, if you have nothing much in there, you can just put it directly in there. You're going to go ahead, before you save it, change it from blank to your first and last name. Okay, please don't put my first and last name. Put your own first and last name. I say it because it's happened. And then you're going to go ahead and hit save, wherever that needs to be. Once it's saved, when you come back on the next class day, you're going to go ahead and open up PowerPoint. You're going to file, as soon as it responds, you're going to file Open from your H drive, or you can browse and you can go to your H drive, etc. You no longer need the P drive. You will not need the P drive again until we are at the end and ready to go ahead and copy and paste it to turn it in. So again, after that P drive, done with it. Okay? So please don't go back to your P drive. All you're going to do is open up the wrong document. Now, if you forget to save it and you hit save and you leave, sometimes an error button will come up. Sometimes nothing comes up. You close out, you walk away, you come back the next day, you lose an entire day of work because you didn't save it to your H drive. I'm trying to help you, so make sure you listen to me on that. First slide. If there's anything on the P drive that you need that we saved, please move it from the P drive to your H drive. So you're going to go back here. You're going to go ahead and find wherever that file is. Most likely, if you have something, it's going to be in here. And you're going to go to, let's just go to Photo Scavenger Hunt. You're going to find it. You're going to right-click. You're going to copy it. Or you're just going to literally take and you're going to drag it over. Copy to my H drive. That makes it a lot easier on the computer and you to get your pictures. So do all that first. This tells you how to save as. So this is lovely because we've just done that. The third thing is where your actual content starts. Slide 1 and 2, delete, and delete once you have read them, and you make sure you've done it. So on this one, again, content that you've got to change. This is super basic, people. Get your name on there. Please put your class period, and then please get rid of this. Again, presentation on the exam date is at the exam time. Changes can only be made through an administrator. In this case, that is actually not true. They said no early exam, so please be aware of that. You do have to be on every scheduled exam. Failure to present this exam results in the failure. So please make sure that you don't forget it at home, that you don't forget to save it. I have nothing to grade then, okay? So then you're going to change all that. Our first slide is comparing your strongest work to your weakest work. Take one of those pictures that might have been blurry and out of focus before you really learned. Then take a picture that was lovely and crisp and in focus, or not too dark or not too bright, and tell me what happened. There are question prompts in here that will help you. You can answer some, but you can also pipe in your own information. As long as it's quality, that is utmost importance. I need quality. Because if it's not quality, how can I possibly give you a grade? Okay? Influence on your work. I'd like you to look up a photographer. A famous photographer. Someone you could actually search for on the internet. Please do not tell me your great-great-uncle. Please don't pick your cousin. Please don't pick yourself. Please don't pick me. I want you to be able to research someone's work, put a piece that they photographed and say, I'm inspired by this piece and it influences my work by this. Maybe you're going to talk about it being a landscape, how much you really love going out and photographing landscapes, or how much you love going out in nature, or maybe it's portraits, etc. That's where you talk about that. The most improved is a piece that you look at that you're just like, man, I really came so far as a photographer, or I pushed myself as a photographer on this piece. How did it get better? What did you do to get it better? The last is your work as communication. You have a lot of pictures in your Grateful as well as your scavenger hunt that could communicate something. It could be that it's silly and you wanted someone to really laugh or smile. It could be that you're trying to put attention to an idea, a thought, a cause, etc. It could be that you felt very heartwarmed by the picture. It was the sweetest thing. Maybe that's your peaceful moment picture, that it communicates something. What does it communicate? How does it communicate those things? And please give me quality information. Please don't tell me I chose this picture of a kitten because it was cute. That is very basic, very entry level. Instead, you're going to choose that picture of the kitten not because it's cute, but because it has that warm, fuzzy feel to it. He really makes me kind of want to curl up into a ball under my blanket and take a nap. I don't know how kittens, they play and then they just collapse. And when I look at him with that soft, fuzzy fur, it makes me feel like this. So those are definitely much more descriptive terms. So I really want to see that. So in terms of this last slide, this is how you're going to finish your piece. It's going to be copied and pasted into the P drive. You will notice I will not have a folder in the P drive until later next week. So don't even bother looking for it. Those of you that finish your slides early, maybe you are really fantastic at Photoshop. Maybe you have some other talents that allow you to finish this quicker. I'm asking that you please look over it and make sure that you just didn't shortchange yourself by writing those really plain vanilla instructions. It's most improved because it looks better. Why does it look better? Oh, it looks better because this time it was in focus. I also got the pole from the flagpole was actually straight in this picture when it's usually crooked. It's really fun because at that moment this bird came flying by, so I felt like it was really cool that this bird came by. So these are all things I want to hear about, okay? Now, the last part of it is, and this is a part that you can actually do today or you can save until next week, it's actually looking at the design of your piece. The design of your piece should be such that it doesn't just look like this. This is an average basic portfolio. I didn't do anything with the design work. I just typed and it was done. You can easily change your design by coming up to the Design tab. There's this little arrow with a line that actually pops this out. you can actually select one right here. You can select one, and I would suggest choosing a variant, because a lot of people will select these straight away and then just get going. But the variants are actually what are going to help make yours a little bit more unique. You know, I can go through and I can change my color scheme by popping out here. Let's say I go to that one right there. It's lovely because, again, it will set it apart from other people's if they choose the same one. So that's basically what you do to work on your design. You can also change the font size, the font color. Like this one right here, maybe I don't want it to be gray. Maybe I want that to be kind of a mustardy yellow. I want it to feel more fall-like, etc. So you're going to want to go through and you're going to see how that affects. Now look at this one affected my text. So I'm actually going to need to move my text, and I'm actually going to need to make it smaller to make sure everything fits and it can be read nicely. I then want to go ahead and go through each of my slides, same exact way. I need to make sure everything matches and looks good, doesn't have any problems. And then from there, again, later next week, we're going to go ahead and save it. That 6th slide, when you are all done, that 6th slide will be deleted as well. I do not want to see any more than 5 slides. It is a pain for me when I go through grading to have all the extra slides that I know you don't need. It's much more concise to have your 5 slides done, have my pictures and everything. And again, for the pictures, it tells you right here. Right-click the mouse, select Change Picture, and then put in the photograph of the work. Right-click, Change Picture. Mine, again, looks a little different than yours. But again, you can come to, from a file, find where your pictures are. Wait 10 years for it to open. Let's go over here. Take that picture and put it in there. That's my uncle, by the way. Okay? So I want to make sure you guys have all the tools that you need. These are all things that you need to do to be